What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the RabidMining YouTube channel. And today I want to do a quick video on cooling the 5950X. So recently I had this Ryzen 9 5950X inside of my workstation, but I finally got done testing that 7950X. I pulled the EVGA non-LHR RTX 3080 out, and I put in my 3090 as well as that 7950X inside of my workstation gaming PC. So this thing is now a beast. So I needed a cooler for this 5950X. Now I could have used that big Be Quiet we had on here for our 7950X testing, but I didn't because we don't need any super huge coolers when it does come to CPU mining. So the cooler I do have here is this Thermaltake UX100. I found it for like $29 Canadian. That's probably like 20 bucks USD or so. It's RGB, it's AM4 as well as Intel's LGA 115X. So here it is. It's just a cheap little cooler. The reason I went with this one over something even cheaper or maybe a little more expensive is because I wanted something that would match the Wraith Prism coolers. Now the Wraith Prism coolers is what comes with all the 3000 series minus the 3950X after an X certain date. I don't know what that date is, but you can't get them with them anymore, and none of the 5000 series. So you need a cooler. I have all my rigs based with the Wraith Prisms, and I wanted something that would, you know, kind of match with RGB and stuff. This has a slightly larger fan, but all the reviews on this thing are horrible. This is like the worst cooler you could potentially buy. But as miners, we don't care what the gaming channels say. We don't use anything they use. We're underclocking, undervolting, and you know, we're just trying to get some nice, stable, efficient rigs for crypto mining. Now our power supply and our motherboard here is looking pretty dirty, so I am going to be blowing this out, cleaning it out before I actually throw this with the main rigs. But I wanted to make sure this cooler was working first to see if I even had to order another one or not. Now I could use that big Be Quiet, but I don't think it's worth it. Another thing I want to quickly point out here is currently this thing is on Duro right now, mining a little bit of Duro, but it's using a lot of power. Look at this. So we're at like 125 watts. This thing is at 3.6 at 0.95 volts. And these X570 motherboards are just power hungry hogs. Just for a quick reference here, so like the 7950X mining Duro itself was anywhere between 121 to 127 watts depending on the miner that you did use. So let's jump into the workstation and see, can this $20 cooler tame the 5950X? All right, so I'm inside rig 23 in HiveOS here, and we can see that I'm at 67 degrees on the CPU. So that's actually not too bad. We kind of compare this to some of my other rigs here. Let's go to rig 24. It's hanging out at 68 degrees. Remember, most of these other ones do have the Wraith Prism cooler. One of these, I'm not sure which one, does have an AIO on it, just a small one. This one's hanging out at 60 on 25, and 26, we're rocking about 62 degrees. So it's a little warmer than some of the other rigs out there, but it's nothing crazy high. And remember, this is only a $20 cooler, which is very cost effective. So I'm going to try something now like maybe XMR. All right, so here we are on XMR, and it's one of the heavier algorithms to mine when it comes to CPU mining. There's only a single stick of RAM, so we're not getting any insane hash rates here, 10.42 kilohash. But the big thing is we're only rocking about 58 degrees. It's been running for about 5 minutes, which is plenty of time to see if this cooler is going to keep this thing cool or not across all these cores and threads. Now, this is a 5950X, so if it's doing this good on this, it can definitely tame like a 3900X if you just buy the CPU and someone's not selling the cooler, so you see it on deal, or the 3950X, you know, the 5700X. Any of these CPUs below it, it should be on par or, you know, even better for keeping this thing cool for CPU mining. So I guess my final verdict on this UX100 is this $20 cooler is just fine for us CPU miners out there. Well, final verdict, guys, this cooler seems to be just fine for keeping the 5950X cool. One thing I do want to point out is it is fairly loud when it does ramp up. It's actually not loud, but it is louder than like the Wraith Prism coolers when you crank them up to the high RPMs by flipping that little switch. But we're going to have a look at some quick decibels here. So about 57.89, which is way below of what I am talking at. So take it any way you want. Some people are very picky on noise, and it does have a slight hum when it does ramp up. So you may have to, cater to that if you're very, very sticky and picky. As for me, I don't really care about the noise. I got the X41U screaming away in the background, and it doesn't bother me whatsoever. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.